So, how's school going for you, Travis?
School? I don't know. Good, I guess. Math's okay. Science is interesting.
How about American history?
History, besides memorizing all those dates and battles, it's not too bad.
You mean besides all that history stuff?
Is there a reason you asked, Joel? Are you just interested in making the whole world aware of how much I'm not good at history?
I just thought it would be a good segue into today's Kids Corner.
Seg what?
I'll start it up.
Once upon the Wild West, when the country was growing fast, when buffalo roamed far and wide in the not-so-distant past, people left home for a trip full of hardship, toils, and pains, as they headed west to the Golden Gate and mass and wagon trains.
Is everyone here ready? Let's start our daily ride.
Who was that?
It's Jacobs, the party's trusted guide.
You're still in bed? Come on now. The daylight's nearly gone.
No, it's not. It's only 8.
And by now we should be gone.
I'm up. You're right there.
I'll get you something to eat.
We haven't got all day here. Come on your feet.
It may seem like their guide was mean, but his job was to keep them safe. The immigrants would have been wise to mind the advice he gave. The wagon train began again, each ox and mule and horse, pulling with all their strength along their charted course.
So I have a question.
What's that, my little friend?
How long exactly is this trip? Like, from beginning to the end?
I heard it was around 6 months.
You're joking, right? 6? How can that be?
Lots of things could go wrong. Take your pick. Blizzards, sandstorms, thunderstorms.
Come on, those aren't scary.
Then there's stuff like cholera, grip, and dysentery.
Okay, that's not so great, but travel can be fun. There's lots of stuff for us to do.
Oh yeah? Name one.
We could tell stories.
That's true. A good story never fails. In fact, I might just have one here with me. It's one of my favorite tales.
Wow. Looks like you've been really enjoying that book, Sam.
Yeah, it's really good. I had no idea that the early pioneers had these kinds of adventures.
It wasn't an easy trip, that's for sure.
Yeah, this book was talking about how there were explorers who wrote guides full of tips and tricks so that people would know how to make the trip safely.
I'm sure that came in handy.
Yeah, if I was going to do something like cross the continent in a covered wagon, I know I'd want some good instructions.
Hello? Mr. Jacobs?
Don't stop in the doorway, Olin. Let's get inside.
Right. Sorry.
Good morning, kids. What do you have there?
It's a wagon.
Looks like a big cardboard box to me.
That's what I said.
It's inside the box. It hasn't been put together yet.
And according to the pictures, it looks like a pretty nice wagon.
Yeah, except that to put it together, we're gonna need tools, and my dad doesn't have the ones we need.
And you were wondering if you could use mine?
Yeah, if that's okay.
No problem at all. Just be sure to put them back where you found them.
You got it. Come on, Ivy.
No way. I said I'd help you carry it here, not put it together.
Well, yeah, but don't you want to help? You were really excited when I first showed it to you.
That was before we carried it halfway across the neighborhood. I need a rest.
I guess I can put it together all by myself, alone, without a friend to help me.
All right, I'll help you, Olin. Where are the directions?
Great. I think they're still in the box.
Perfect. I'll just cut through this tape and we'll be all good to go.
Want to listen to the radio as you get started?
Yeah, thanks. Ugh, come on!
What now?
It's these instructions. They don't make any sense.
Is there something I can help with, Sam?
If you want to give it your best shot, I'm pretty sure these instructions were not written by someone who quite knows how to communicate in English.
Let me take a look. Oh my.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. That's a pretty bad translation. Maybe the internet has better instructions.
Oh yeah, let me check.
But shouldn't we be using the instructions that came in the box? How do we know we're putting Olin's wagon together the right way if we aren't following the instructions that it came with?
Normally, I'd agree with you, Ivy. But I think if you look at what's written here, you'll see that we need a third opinion.
Aha! Looks like we're not the only ones to be confused. Here's a forum online where people are explaining what the instructions are trying to say.
Forum?
It's like a place where lots of people talk about things online.
But isn't that what all of the internet is?
You have a point, Olin. But a forum is actually a very old idea, dating back to biblical times.
They had internet back then?
No, but they did have just as many ideas and opinions back then, and the place where people shared these thoughts with others were called forums. If you had a question or a new thought that you wanted others to listen to, you would share it in the forum.
The same thing happens online now. We have a question about these really confusing wagon building instructions, and people with the answers heard the question and have answered it.
What's the matter, Mr. Jacobs?
Oh, all of this talking about not understanding instructions reminded me about a verse in the Bible, about how when a person doesn't understand the Bible's instructions, they need someone to explain it.
Well, yeah.
That does sound pretty obvious, Mr. Jacobs.
Maybe it does, but you know what? I might have a script about this. I'll be right back.
Okay, I guess we can listen to the radio while we wait.
And now, from the garage of Lionel Jacobs comes the thrilling drama, Airliner, an adapted biblical teaching about teaching.
Excuse me? Do you mind if I sit here?
Well, yeah. That seat's not taken, but don't you have your own seat?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just a little nervous sitting so close to a window in my own seat.
Oh, I see. First time?
No, I've been nervous before.
I meant, is this your first time flying?
No. I've flown many times. I've flown all over the world.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am?
It's Doctor, actually.
What is?
My name. I'm a doctor.
Doctor?
Yes. Is there something wrong?
I don't know. Is there?
Yes. I couldn't help but overhear that you've flown before. If that's true, I'm gonna need you to come with me to the cockpit.
Cockpit? What's that?
It's a small room on the front of the plane, but that's not important right now. Come along, sir.
Okay. What do you need me for?
It looks like both the pilot and the co-pilot on this flight have mysteriously disappeared.
How do you know?
Look around. Do you see them?
No.
Looks like they've disappeared, doesn't it?
Touché, but what does this have to do with me?
Surely you must know.
No, can't say I've met her. Stop stalling. Answer the question.
You said you've flown before.
All over the world.
Wait, how did you get in here?
I don't know. The script said I had some lines, and here I am.
Please, we don't have much time.
That's okay. I prefer Basil anyway.
I'll be brief. Since you have flying experience, you're the only one who can land this plane. Take us down. Good luck, and we're all counting on you.
Wait, what?
Good luck, and we're all counting on you.
Hey, let me out. I can't fly this plane.
Why not? You said you've flown all over the world.
I've flown in planes all over the world.
Well, yeah. You wouldn't fly them from the outside. That could be super windy.
This is crazy. How am I supposed to land? I've never been taught any of this stuff. I don't even know what this lever does, or this button.
Looks like I picked a bad day to stop reading How to Fly magazine.
Will this passenger be able to land the plane? Will the day be saved? Will he?
How can I if no one teaches me how to do it?
Good point. And that leads me to the moral of this drama.
The moral? What is it?
It's a lesson that we can learn from a direct example or subtle similarities to the plot of the story. But that's not important now.
You know what I meant.
The moral is that sometimes we expect that everyone will just understand that God will help them. But how are they supposed to know if they don't know or believe in Him? And how can they believe in Him if they've never heard of Him? And how will they hear about Him if no one teaches them? So, go out and teach others about the God who loves them and has given everything so that they may be saved.
Good luck, and we're all counting on you. And there you go. One finished wagon, suitable for transporting stuff or riding down hills whilst discussing philosophy. I'm serious though, it's finished.
Oh, yeah, that's great, Sam. Thanks.
Is that all? It took us more than an hour to put this together, and you're not excited?
I think they're mulling something over at the moment, Sam.
Really? About what?
It's the script we read about that guy who had to land the plane.
Yeah, that one was really weird.
I mean, yeah, a little, but I was more talking about the moral at the end. You said that it was up to us to go out and teach people about God, and that you were counting on us. But I don't know if I can do that.
Sure you can. It's not easy, but everyone can teach people about God.
I think I'd freak out. I'd be like the pilot in the story. I wouldn't know the first thing to do.
I know what you mean, Ivy. I've been in situations where I was asked to tell people about Jesus and his love, and I've just frozen up. I didn't do a very good job, and it was kind of embarrassing.
Wait, you, Mr. Jacobs? You got embarrassed talking about God?
Sure. Like it says in 1 Corinthians 12, not everyone has that gift.
Gift? Not getting embarrassed is a gift?
I'm sure it is. But I meant telling people about Jesus in that way is a gift that some people have and others don't. God tells us to preach the good news wherever we go, but that can look different depending on the work God has made us to do. I'm not much good at walking up to people and telling them about Jesus, but God has allowed me to share his truths through my dramas and by just being a friend and a good example.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't the one who told me about Jesus for the first time, but when I started hanging out at your garage, the way you use those gifts helped me decide to follow Jesus.
And you've always been teaching us kids about what the Bible says, too.
I try. After all, Jesus tells us in Matthew 25:21 that if we use what God has given us well, he will give us more to use for him.
Yeah, but I remember another verse that warns us that if God gives us a lot of gifts, he expects a lot from us too.
That's right. Luke 12:48. That's where God warns us that the more we know about him and his commands, the more he expects us to follow them.
Oh, and I thought learning more about God would make it easier. Guess not.
It might seem that way, Olin, but that's why we need to ask God to help us and let his Spirit live in us. The closer we are to him, the easier it is to do what he says and to follow the example of the greatest teacher of all time.
It's true. He helps me understand more and more all the time.
Huh. Well, thanks for explaining, Mr. Jacobs. I think I'll ask my parents about it some more when I get home.
Sounds like a good idea, Ivy. You leaving now, then?
Yeah, I want to try out this new wagon. Come on, Olin. You promised you pulled me back home.
I did?
Yep. Mush, mush.
I guess I'm going too. See you guys later.
Bye, kids.
Well, I suppose it's time to go. Thanks for letting me hang out here, Mr. Jacobs. I learned a lot.
The door is always open for you, Sam. On one condition.
What's that?
Would you mind shutting off the radio before you head out?